going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 20 of the Lured Up Creator Series, the podcast bringing your favorite content creators to talk about their work, process, and the game that brings it all together, Pokemon Go. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. I'm your host, Ken Pescator, and I am joined today by Johnny from 8BitCR. Johnny, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
How's it going, man? Thank you so much for inviting me, having me here.
You were highly requested.
Oh, really?
We have a lot of people in the community that were definitely interested in having you on. They're like, look, he's from Costa Rica, man, but he speaks perfect English. You got to get him on the show. It's like, dude, I know him. I'm getting him on. And I'm so glad
perfect English. I don't know about perfect English, but
dude, it's perfect. Come on, man. I've talked to many natives from here that speak English way worse. No, it's I'm super excited to have you on, and it's really exciting to finally connect with you over the years. Back from before Pokemon Go, we connected back in the day with over amiibo and Toys to Life and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool how this has come full circle, and you're finally here. So welcome, man.
Glad to be here. Yeah, glad to be here.
Excellent. So why don't you introduce yourself? We go through the basics in the beginning of the show when I bring people in. Introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from, and give us a little background on your channel.
Well, yeah, as you said, I am a content creator from Costa Rica. My name is Johnny. My content is all in Spanish. I do have an episode in English, which is it was a podcast that I made back then with Reversal. So if you guys want to check that out in English and everything, I mean that's the one. but yeah, I've played Pokemon Go. I've been recording and uploading videos of Pokemon Go since day one, pretty much daily. But yeah, and I've been on YouTube for quite a while, covering Nintendo stuff and techie, geeky stuff. Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, that's I did. I typically will do a little research, and I reverse the sorting on your videos, and I look back and I was like, wow, his first video is like from 7 years ago. It's like a Wii U unboxing. I was like, wow, we're going back.
It's even further than that. The very first video is hidden right now, but yeah, it's further than that. It's funny.
Nice.
It was like Super Mario All Stars, I think. The Wii one, yeah. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah.
So, what's your? I know you said you've been making videos and content since day one of Pokemon Go, but what's your history with the Pokemon franchise? I mean, I know you're a Nintendo fan. Prior to Pokemon Go, did you have a connection with the Pokemon franchise?
Oh yeah, since I was a little kid, I've always been watching the anime, and pretty much that was my entrance to the whole Pokemon universe. The anime was the first place where I got to know all every Pikachu and whatever,
Right.
But with as the years went by, I started playing the video game, so I started getting way more into it. I started getting into TCG. I've been a Pokemon fan for a long time. I discovered shiny hunting way back then as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I've been a Pokemon fan for a long time. The only time I separated a little bit from Pokemon was like Gen 5, Gen 6. When they came out, I just played like the story of the game and then like left them there, whatever. And yeah, with Gen 7, I think I came back fully on alongside with Pokemon Go. Yeah.
I was pretty much, I followed that same exact path. It was like right around Black and White, I kind of stepped back a little bit. Was still into the anime and still into the collectibles and toys and all that, but I didn't really play the games too much. Yeah. And then, when X and Y came around, it was like, all right, let me get back into this. And, then once Pokemon Go came out, I was off to the races. But so you're a day one player of Pokemon Go. Tell us about that. What team are you? What's your favorite Pokemon? And how do you like to play Pokemon Go? What are the typical ways you engage with the game?
Yes, I've been playing since day one. I've been uploading videos since day one pretty much daily, which is weird to say by now because it's 4+ years in, but yeah. And I'm Team Mystic, the only right choice, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And my favorite ways to play, I mean, I enjoy shiny hunting. That's probably my most the thing I spend the most time on, probably. But I love how much you can create a community around Pokemon Go in many different ways. From in different aspects as well, because you can create a community around PvP and have a ton of people on a Discord server or whatever, and analyze any new moves or whatever is coming on, and you can go the other way around before the entire pandemic situation right now, but having community days and stuff like that with people gathering around an event. I mean, being together in that way is awesome. Honestly, what game does that? And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm definitely interested to learn what it's like playing in Costa Rica, because we've had some other Latin American creators on, and there's something about Latin America that the community there, it seems so incredibly dedicated and passionate, more so than what I've seen from pretty much anywhere else in the world. It seems that the organization and the community leaders, ranging from Mexico going all south, from there, the organization just seems so incredibly detailed. And what's it like playing in the community? What are the areas by you like to play, and how does your community typically play the game? Is it a PvP thing? Because I see so much PvP coming out of Latin America.
There's a little bit of everything, to be fair. I mean, there is the more, I don't want to say casual way of playing, like going out, just walking and farming and looking for whatever Pokemon or better IVs or whatever you're looking for, just entertaining. As an entertainment way is also enjoyed quite a bit. But PvP particularly, I think is the thing that has grabbed the attention of a ton of very passionate players, because there is a huge amount of people that does play the game casually and enjoy it every single day, a couple of hours later or whatever it is. But the PvP is where a ton of people have end up organizing a ton more to create the environment for it to be a little bit more competitive and more competitive in general. So I think that's maybe the reason why it ends up looking like that from the outside, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing it across YouTube and some of the photos on Instagram. I mean, the sheer numbers of people that get together. Yeah. Again, of course, the COVID notwithstanding, but I mean, just looking at like the tournaments and the organizations and the community days and the organized walks and getting the community together physically, it's amazing. It's like, I'm here in New Jersey and I'm struggling. Like, I need 8 people for a tournament. Come on, we can do it. Then it's like I look at somewhere in Latin America and there's like 200 people lined up outside a venue, and it's like, what? This is insane.
Yeah, it does depend on the place really cool. and the country and everything, because not in those countries that you see the most probably are like Chile, Mexico, Brazil. Are the ones that have that type of audience, let's say. I don't know, of massive audiences getting together, but it happens in different degrees around the entirety of Latin America. Definitely, yeah.
That's exciting. That's really awesome. And let's talk about your content a little bit. Now, I know that you've been making videos for years and Pokemon Go videos since day one. What inspired you back in the day to pick up the camera and start creating to begin with? Like, what was there? Is it something you've always wanted to do, or how did it happen?
I've always created content in some way, because I actually, you might not know this necessarily, but I studied movie making in college here in Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
And I specialized as how you say this? Oh my god, I'm blanking on this. Photography director. I'm just blanking on that. Well, whatever, that's fine. The thing is, I've always created content since like I was 7-8 years old, with messing around with a very old camera and stuff like that, doing rough stop motion with my toys and whatever. And YouTube came right before I went into college, and I'm like, okay, I have a little bit of free time, a couple of months, and why not? And so I started talking about video games, something I have always liked, of course. And I made this unboxing of Mario All Stars back then, and yeah, that's. I've never considered myself a YouTuber, at least not at that time, at least, because I was just uploading for the sake of uploading and just showing my collection or sharing experience or whatever with people. And slowly but surely it has evolved to that, to this. But yeah, I've been uploading for a long time, daily, and like feeling like a YouTuber in that like 5 or so years, maybe 6 or so years ago. But yeah. That's my origins.
That's wild. Yeah. And where does Pokemon Go kind of fit into the mix of your videos? Because when I was just doing a quick scroll through your videos, I'm seeing Sword and Shield content. I'm seeing, like you said, some tech content and some other outside gaming, Smash Brothers. Even Toys to Life stuff like the amiibo, like we were talking about earlier. But where does Pokemon Go fit into the mix? Is this typically your daily video grind, or are you still kind of creating content for other areas of Pokemon and gaming?
I do. Have my little like seasons of creating Pokemon content outside of Pokemon Go. The thing is, Pokemon Go is a constant in my content because it has stuff going on all the time. All the time there's something new, something appeared or whatever, There's always something going on in Pokemon Go, so there's always something to make content about. In the case of stuff like Sword and Shield and all that, more recently I've been uploading again Sword and Shield because of the recent DLC part 2, the Crown Tundra.
Right.
And yeah, I've uploaded different content on the Pokemon universe, let's say. In general, Nintendo in general, I'm not I haven't uploaded general Nintendo stuff in some time, but I would like to come back to it at some point. Here and there, maybe, but yeah, Pokemon Go is the main drive right now. Yeah.
It's amazing that the Pokemon world has become so diverse that I had Jiggly Dad on a few weeks ago, who's he kind of called himself like a variety streamer, but within the Pokemon Go or within the Pokemon world. So it's like there's so much to do just within the franchise of Pokemon that you could actually be a variety streamer and never leave the franchise because there's so many different ways to engage with the franchise and games to play and things to do and stuff to look at. So it really gives you a good repertoire of ammunition of video content to make.
You can even do that with Pokemon Go. With Pokemon Go, you can be a full-on PvP YouTuber or streamer or whatever, and only talk about PvP and whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, it's amazing how deep the game goes when it comes to developing these subcultures and these sub communities. We all work together. We're all doing the same thing. And then you have the different systems of the games that kind of feed each other. It's like, I want a good IV Pokemon. That means I need to get out there and grind. I want a good move set. I got to go on a community day, or I got to raid this Pokemon. It's like, I love how the different systems of the game feed into each other, and that ultimately feeds the community. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
But before we get into like the real details of your content, I have to talk about the collectibles and collecting and all that stuff, because that's near and dear to my heart, and also Adam from the Lured Up podcast. And of course, Josh, from Toys for Games, who is kind of, is back into my life, with Special Conditions podcast and everything. It's just so cool that the collectible scene and Toys to Life and Amiibo and all that stuff has kind of brought, us back together. When I watch your videos, I see this absolutely insane wall of stuff behind you, different memorabilia, different figures and toys and stuff. What are you collecting? What is it like about that stuff that you love? And when I'm looking at this amazing background that you have, what's some of the stuff? Is it mainly Nintendo swag and Toys to Life, like Amiibo?
Mainly Nintendo, yeah. Normally, yeah. Most of what you see behind me, it is Amiibo, right? But there's a ton of other little stuff here and there. I mean, there's the Zelda books and different guides, and there's a ton of different figures. And but yeah, mainly it is Amiibo though, yeah. Which is in my background all the time. I just figured, I have this collection. I need to show it off in some way, and I like it having it there. I think it's it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it, and you know, one of the coolest things about Pokemon, and even talking about it now, is the nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
so when
yeah.
I love looking at creators that have like their collections on display, and it's like I could pause it and kind of look through everything and get all these little nostalgia feels. It's like, oh, I had that, or I know what that is, or it's like I read that book, or that's the art book that came with the special edition. I see you. It's like it's always cool to see all that cool stuff. And yeah, I mean, even like the new amiibo from Pokemon that have come out, I'm yet to pick up. So I still don't have like the Bulbasaur, the Squirtle. You know, it's like I'm slacking. I got to get back on that grind. I got to call Jason Inquires and Amiibo Jason. They got to get on their case. Be like, bro, send me some stuff. But that's awesome, man. It's so cool that it's come full circle, and we've met back through the world of Pokemon Go. That's phenomenal. But let's talk about your content. Let's talk about, you know, that video that's 7 years old unboxing the Wii U. And it's like, you know, we've talked about how you're always been like a Nintendo fan. How has your content changed over the years? Has it kind of funneled from this variety Nintendo stuff just to Pokemon? Like you said, you want to start making some content potentially outside of the Pokemon world, but how has your content really changed over the years? Not just on the subject matter, but, you know, the vibe or the feeling that you come across in your videos. How has it developed?
Quite a bit, because I mean, there have been quite long time I've been doing this, so I to some degree grown in front of the camera at some
right
yeah, but it has always been from what I am passionate for, I guess, and from that, like talking about this subject or analyzing something or playing something I'm really passionate about. Any of that, any aspect like that, it's what like drives me to select what I'm uploading at the time. As time passed, I started to have questions of how I want to upload and what I want to upload. I actually even created a secondary channel back then, because I was like, okay, this is my main channel, this is my gaming channel, and no, that's just doesn't.
That's a lot of work.
That's the number one, and it just doesn't work. You need to focus as much as you can, and I've learned that through the years, definitely. Focusing more on gaming, focusing more on Nintendo, and when in 2014, I think it is, when Amiibo came out, November 2014, I think it is. Because at the same, I remember that the same day Amiibo came out, the Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out as well, and I went to pick the special edition with both and the Amiibo or whatever. Cool, and that's when I started to get back on the Pokemon train, I guess, and started uploading a little bit of here and there, talking about Amiibo in that era as well. And slowly but surely, my channel started growing towards the Pokemon aspect. Even more when the 7th generation and Pokemon Go came out, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and what platforms are you creating on? Because I know you know you're on YouTube, but I mean, are you doing any live stream stuff? Do you work on Twitch or any other social channels? I know you're on Twitter.
Yeah. YouTube is the main one. On Twitch I do stream, but I do stream different stuff. There's the like the place where I get to play different stuff and try out different stuff with my audience, and to check what they like, what they prefer for me to upload. And I do Instagram I do as well. I upload there all my AR photography content for Pokemon Go, and yeah. On Discord, of course, I have a huge community there as well. It's became like a home for a ton of people, a hub also for everything Pokemon and everything. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. Yep,
that's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing what Discord has done for the Pokemon community. It's you know, there's various games use Discord in one way or another, and a lot of them use Discord as a chat tool or a voice chat tool while they're playing as a companion to the games they're playing. But it just seems like with Pokemon Go, I mean, it really has become a home of, you know, this is the place that they're checking in, and they're taking stuff that they're finding on Facebook and Twitter, and they're bringing it into the Discord, and that's where they're talking about it. So Discord is kind of this unique subculture of the Pokemon world where, through all the organizational tools and cool stuff like PokeNavBot and, MeowthBot and things like that.
Yeah.
The IV checker from Go Stadium. There's all these amazing tools that are available through Discord. It really makes that an awesome place for Pokemon fans.
I just want to say
that's
I'm sorry to Go Stadium because my server hits that bot hard every single community day.
That's the best. It's like I'm the same. Like, I mean, I forgot what they had told me how many different servers are running that bot. I know that they just got partnered. It's massive, but it's amazing. Like, even in my little Patreon server, it's like after a community day, it's just like nonstop. People just checking stuff. It's like, dude, their server must be getting pinged so hard.
That chat is it moves around. Yeah,
that's so great. That's so awesome. Now we've had a bunch of creators on the show here that are from outside the U.S. You're the first creator who makes content exclusively in a language other than English.
Yeah,
that's super intriguing to me. And I'm interested in finding out like how language impacts or influences how you make content outside of Latin America. Are there people watching your videos outside of that scope? Like, are you looking at the analytics to see where people are watching? Because like you said, it is in Spanish. So, I mean, obviously Spanish spoken around the world. So where else are people watching your videos in Spanish?
It is a mix, but I mean, I think the biggest non-Latin American country is either the US or Spain, perhaps, I guess. But no, I do have a ton of people from outside Latin America. I mean, from people that just are from Latin America that live abroad or whatever, or people that just speak Spanish. It's more it's easier for people to get into it because most of us know what events are going on or what stuff is being generally talked in the game. So you can easily go and check a content creator in, I don't know, a Korean content creator and pretty much understand what's going on and still enjoy what you're looking, whether it is gameplay or farming for a shine or whatever it is.
Sure.
So I think that still applies to my channel as well because I know that maybe the biggest audience out there for Pokemon Go is in English, but that doesn't take away from the huge audience we have in Latin America in Spanish, but also people that are outside of that scope that can also enjoy it from an outsider's view, I guess.
Yeah, no, I do the same. I mean, I love watching international content. I watch like Yamada and Yuri's videos from from Asia and everything. So it's like it's a universal language. It's you don't have to understand the words to know what the feeling is.
That.
And I gotta ask, do you live on top of a gym? Like every time I'm watching your videos and like you're sitting in your chair, you're in your room, it's like he's on top of a gym. Like how great is that?
Yeah, it sort of recently became a gym, like 2-3 months ago, something like that. It became a gym,
solid.
And I'm like,
that is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
How's the Wayfarer community in Costa Rica?
Oh, it's pretty active. Actually, the biggest place we have here where people gathered around and played community days and stuff like that, which is a camp, the campus of our university here, has gone packed. It was pretty good before, but they have done a great job adding new stuff, new good stuff to be Pokestops and games and all that, and it's just amazing. And in general, it's pretty decent. When you get to more areas that are not that doesn't have that don't have that many people or stuff like that they are getting packed with Pokestops and stuff like that. There's quite a good community for Wayfighter.
That's great. Yeah. That's awesome. It's always good to hear. I love when communities take advantage of the tool and just fill it out. So it's like, especially when people are traveling, they turn on the game. They're like, "Whoa, there's so much stuff to do."
Yeah, a ton of rural players have been benefited a lot from this. Because most of us play in the capital in San Jose, But of course, since you get to check on nominations from farther away from you, you start checking on all those rural areas that don't have that much and start to get packed. And now those places are like as if they were the capital. So they're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Nice. And for someone that maybe has never seen your videos, English speaking or not, but for someone that hasn't seen your videos, what can a viewer expect when, checking out one of your videos for the first time? Is there ever like a consistent feeling or a vibe or something you try to get across in your videos? More educational, more entertainment? Like what can people expect?
I would say a chill Pokemon professor. That's
Nice.
That's my role in the Latin American community. I think I like analyzing stuff, whether it is PvP or a new announcement for an event, and taking out like, oh, this event has happened before, or something like this happened, or this might happen. All that type of stuff. I always go deeper. Not only like announcing, like I don't know, the next event. It is the anime week, the one for.
Journeys,
right?
Journeys,
yeah. So I went deeper and said, okay, they could do this, and I've been I have a little bit of I'm known a little bit for guessing what Niantic is going to do next.
Oh, well, we love the tinfoil hat theories here. That's inappropriate speculation is the best.
Totally. I have a good record on that.
It's funny. It's like I'm always making stuff up and trying to guess, and I never get it right. And then Adam will just like pull something out of his butt, and he'll be like, "Yeah, it'll be really funny if they do this," and then he'll always nail it. He'll get it right every time. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But I have to ask, as a player of the main series games, we just had the announcement of Pokemon Home integration coming to Go. How do you think this is going to be a big deal? Like, I really think this is going to be a big deal. Like, do you expect this to really shake up the Go scene? And do you think a lot of Go people are going to adopt getting into Home so they can get, transfer their Pokemon over there? Like, what do you think that's going to be like for the Go community once Home gets going?
Yeah, because of the Melton mystery box alone, that's a huge plus for a ton of people. I mean, a ton of people don't have a Switch or Let's Go or whatever, and they can't get it. Only that thing, it's going to get a ton of people sign up to the free plan of Pokemon Home for sure. In terms of impacting Go, I think, well, it depends how they end up merging the two together, But I think it is going to impact more the main series game than Pokemon Go, to be fair. Because there's a ton of Pokemon you can get in Go quite easily that you wouldn't be able to farm that much in raids or stuff like that in the regular games. Maybe a little bit more now with the second DLC that you can go for the legendaries and shinies within them and the Dynamax adventures. But yeah, I think it's going to impact a little bit more the regular games than Go. But at the same time, I think it benefits players for both sides. That's what I like the most. Whether it is you want to keep your 30 shinies from Community Day, but you have no more space in your box and you need to make some space for room.
Right.
Or you want to...
I think when Go players start to realize that they can keep track of a national dex in Home, like I think that's going to be a big one. And, I hope that it turns people on to play in the main series games because obviously it's a one-way transfer from Go. So once you put them into Home, the only other place they can go is into the current titles, into Sword and Shield right now. So hopefully, people will say, oh man, I have, all these legendary Pokemon, or I have all these Pokemon that I've caught, or these shinies. I can fill out my decks and in Sword and Shield like right away. And hopefully that motivates people. I love when people cross over between different types of games, whether they're playing Pokemon like Cafe or Pokemon Smile or some oddball thing, and then they come over to Go, and then they somehow make their way to the main series. I just love that the different areas of the franchise influence the other games. I like that a lot. I think that's super cool. So you mentioned PvP. I definitely have to ask about Team Distortion. This is something that I saw listed in your profile. Yeah. what is your connection with PvP? Tell us about Team Distortion, and what is your your local community like? I guess through your Discord or whatever. In regards to PvP, how does that what's your focus for PvP personally?
Yeah, in regards to Discord, it is way more international since it's the community of my channel, not only my country. So it is way more. It has a wider audience than that. Team Distortion is a PvP competitive Pokemon Go team, basically. There's quite a bit of them that have came out in lately. I think this year mostly. We're at, they're like 30 plus, maybe more, probably more. Teams that are organized to play Pokemon Go. But basically, I mean, like we are right now in the middle of a season, battling out with different teams around Latin America, and yeah, it has grown quicker than I would have expected, and not only the team, but in the PvP scene to this degree, because one thing is the Sylph Cups and all that, but most of that is like as a single player, let's say it like that. You go by yourself, you play for yourself, you play for your score or whatever. But when you start playing as a team and having like, this is the team leader, you're the strategy guy, you're the captain, whatever, and stuff starts moving in a different way for Pokemon Go and for the PvP. I know there's a ton of movement in the PvP scene here in Latin America thanks to this. And what was the other thing you just said? Oh, the community here, the PvP community.
Yeah.
It has taken an impact for sure because of COVID. They normally did fairly decent tournaments here in terms of size in Costa Rica, I mean. But yeah, it has taken an impact because a ton of people are not that connected. Maybe they use WhatsApp and stuff like that for connection to Sylph Cups, but there's still a ton of people playing all the time for sure.
Yeah, and again, Latin America specifically, it seems that the level of organization is so far ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to organized competitive Pokemon Go play, especially from a team perspective. And I'm seeing, all these amazing logos and great mascots and roster photographs of everyone in the team wearing jerseys and everything's so organized. And I'm like, this is light years ahead of what we have here in the States. Latin America's got it together. It's how important has the team element come? And do you think that that's something that Niantic should kind of get themselves into? Because the team element for me, when I started doing the Go Stadium team-based tournaments, it opened a door that it changed everything. No. The way people strategize, the way people communicate, the way that competitors interact with each other online. I mean, it changed everything. And it seems that in Latin America, the team-based thing is really taken off. What's it like playing in such an organized way? Does it require you to use your own tools, make your own tools to keep organized? I mean, are you using stuff like Challenge? Or are you using the Sylph? What are you using to stay so organized? It's amazing that it's all grassroots when it comes to team-based stuff.
It depends on the league you're playing, because there's different leagues and seasons of different communities that come along that we get invited to, stuff like that. So it depends on how they organize themselves, the particular tournaments and stuff like that. But I think it is exciting because it shows you a little bit what Pokemon Go can be as an esports in the future, as an official esport in the future.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
And I don't know. It's really exciting to see, because you can feel that there's excitement from the player's side to organize and be involved in a bigger way than just going to Go Battle League or Sylph tournaments every month. And I think that's a pretty cool aspect of it. Of course, there's a ton to be made before we can be in that reality fully, but yeah, it's a good beginning, I think.
Yeah, I would love to see, and I talk about it with Adam on the full Lured Up show all the time. I would love to see Pokemon Go added to the Play Pokemon roster. So you would have, competitive TCG, competitive VG, Pokken Tournament, and Pokemon Go all on the same stage. I think that the Players' Cup that's going on right now for Play Pokemon with the VG and the TCG is a prime example of how this can be pulled off remotely, and this could be, you can be successful to have remote competitive play. Now, unfortunately, the state of the game might think otherwise, and that's something that's definitely interesting because as much as we love PvP, it's very hard to have a competitive foundation of something when the game performs inconsistently. That's something that all the PvP players are kind of dealing with and have been dealing with for the longest time. So it's really hard, but I really have faith, and I'm very optimistic about the future of PvP, specifically organized team-based PvP, because that's where it just seems easier to market. It seems a little bit more exciting, and it fits the mold a little bit more of typical esports, what people know and expect if they're watching ESPN, and ESPN is covering the Overwatch League or League of Legends championships. They're going to see a bunch of people together wearing the same jersey. There's going to see a coach that's shouting orders. They're going to see this environment and these gaming chairs and these awesome headsets. They get like this entire aesthetic. And it seems like when I look at some of this Latin America stuff, I was like, they nailed it. I go, they're nailing it. The team logos look phenomenal. Like the jerseys look amazing. It's like, it blew me away how far ahead Latin America seemed than the rest of the world when it comes to organized team play.
But I do know that I think I've seen a couple of teams here and there in the US as well, right? I mean, I haven't researched it, to be honest. I'm not. I don't want to assume, but I'm pretty sure I've seen teams here and there in the US. Not maybe in the same amount, of course, that we might have right now. But I mean, take it as a base and start building up on that. If you have friends that really like PvP and the guys you see always in every tournament, stuff like that, start making your own team. Start organizing it. It might sound like daunting at first, like, oh my god, but there's too much organization to do. But believe you me, it just clicks into place when it's right. So don't go ahead and do it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some popping up across the states and across the world, but they seem very isolated, and I just think that the grand scheme of things and the scope of what's going on in Latin America, I think we could learn a lot from, and keep that motivation going, because that's where that's where I think a lot of the excitement of what could make Pokemon Go exciting for spectators, and I think that's the big difference. Is you could always have a competitive. I mean, you could play competitive tic-tac-toe, but what's going to make that exciting for someone to watch? And that's the aesthetic. That's the arena. That's
exactly. They need to make it an AR battles somehow. Like you have,
I would love that.
Two people in the center of the arena battling out, and the entire audience with. Of course, I'm going way in the future, but but the entire
glasses,
exactly, entire audience with glasses or some stuff like that, and you see the Pokemon battling out in the arena and the center. That would be like the.
I've talked about that for so long. I'm a huge proponent. I think wearables are absolutely the future. I mean, I'm definitely bought into AR. I think once 5G is kind of globally adopted, 5G is going to change a lot of the ways that we do cool stuff like that. But even when you look at like some of the stuff League of Legends has done, and Yu-Gi-Oh has even done some really cool AR based card stuff. Even like the old PS3 game, that Eye of Judgment, where you had a play mat, you had cards, the cards would come down and they would wake up in AR. I think that the future is very bright when it comes to what Niantic can bring to that competitive space, because they could do cool stuff with AR. I'm a firm believer in that. Oh my god, AR PvP battles, even if it's just for the spectator, even if like when I'm battling you, it's a normal PvP battle. However, if someone's there and they're using their phone to look through like goggles, they see that. That would be the greatest.
Let's make Niantic add Silph scopes. It's to the game. So.
That's what I say. I was like, I don't care. Like, give me the implant, give me the cybernetic implant, give me the robot eyeball. Like, I don't care. I just want to see an AR. It's something that I've been behind for a long time. I really like that. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And you mentioned Sylph, and I have to ask, in your area with all this team based stuff, I mean, are you using Sylph as the foundation for what you're doing?
Mostly, I'd say yes. It depends. Again, it's a matter of the community that is organizing the X, Y, or Z tournament you're taking part in. But yeah, a ton of the time the people use Sylph for it to be like the base of the organization in terms of the tournament and stuff like that. But the community itself, Discord, I think it's the biggest platform for all of this, because I think every single team is on Discord somehow to take part on the different tournaments without thinking on the different platforms like Sylph or Challenge or stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and what about Go Battle League? How's that accepted and kind of integrated into Latin America and players? I mean, it seems like there's been, at least in my area and in the States, even at large, it seems like there's been a really significant shift from Sylph to GBL, and especially with things like the addition of the Halloween Cup and the upcoming Flying Cup and things like that. It really seems that there's been a fundamental shift. I know that there will always be a place for Sylph. I know that there will always be, the core competitor and third party. I just love that there will always be a place for that. But how has GBL kind of influenced what's gone on in Latin America, and even in like the way you cover your content when you talk about PvP? Do you see the better, engagement with your audience when it comes to Sylph or Go Battle League?
In terms of my audience, Go Battle League for sure, because Sylph is a little bit more of a niche. And if in terms of YouTube, for YouTube particularly, if you're not like constantly on one subject, and I'm not only covering PvP in my channel, so it does affect me if I start going into such a niche of a niche, like going deep. And so in my content, because I know a ton of people that do cover Sylph and they do fine because they cover PvP only, and that would be the case for them. In terms of Go Battle League for Latin America, I would say it's right now like 70-30, 70 being Sylph, I feel. Because it has taken quite a chunk, but the every single bug you have to deal with, and lag and desyncing and all that, it winds people down quite a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
But people do. People are always excited when a new season comes along and you get the price for the previous season, and the changes they're making right now, I think are pretty interesting, because they swap the points system. That I don't know how they're named in English, but the 3,000 points you need to have for rank 10. That's now only from 9 to 10. And the other ranks are just you up rank for wins.
Win based.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're definitely definitely taking feedback. They're doing a great job with making changes for sure.
And the next season that is only win based, which is a weird tiny season, but that's interesting that they're making that experiment. I'd like to see the results of that in terms of participation, of engagement, and all that for Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I think that after when we come back for, I guess, season 6 of GBL, or after that short little what is it, like a 2-week or a 3-week thing, for season 5. Yeah. I think that something is on the horizon. I think something's brewing at Niantic that's going to kind of change things pretty significantly. Yeah, I look forward to it, because I think that they've done a great job of listening to player feedback and making adjustments, sometimes in real time, and would do things even drastically, like take the whole system offline to address issues. Yeah. I think they're moving in the right direction with GBL, and my community is loving the Halloween Cup, like absolutely loving it.
Me too. I like it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think
anytime you have a limited meta, it makes it a little bit more competitive and exciting.
I think that the biggest problem they have, Niantic, I mean, it's communication. I mean, yeah, there's bugs and whatever thing you need to fix in the game, but just say it, like, yeah, this is happening. We're fixing it, or just say something. And sometimes the silence is deafening is the phrase, I guess. Yeah, it's just a bit too much sometimes. But yeah, it's good to see they're doing stuff to make it better. That's
the known issues page has really developed. I think that true. Having the PvP, specific known issues section is great. And, a lot of times, people will, will turn to Twitter immediately and say, "Oh, this is happening like this. It's broken." And, look at this madness. Yeah. And then not knowing that that's already been, notified and addressed on the known issues page, and that they're working on it. So it's definitely a big, a big shift in the way they perceive.
See, it's a matter of being more active, I guess, with communicating. That's the main thing I feel.
Yeah, and we touched on esports. So what in regards to PvP, do you think that let's say that the game ran perfectly. Let's say the servers were flawless. Let's say there was no such thing as lag, and the game ran as intended. The current iteration of PvP, the way it stands right now, do you think that it's missing anything that would be needed for it to take the esports stage, especially coming from having a knowledge of the TCG with things like, held items or abilities, or from the video game side, when it could be, again, withheld items or special conditions, things like that. Like, do you think the game is missing anything, or do you think it's just a mechanical thing? It's just needs to work, or do you think that there should be stuff added to PvP?
I think team preview for sure. That's the bare minimum they need to definitely do. That's for sure. Besides that, because team preview would make everything go way better in Go Battle League. It would make it way more competitive because you would know the necessary things you need to know before. Maybe they could go, again, talking about preview, they could go the 6 Pokemon route, not to use them, but to have them as options, and then you choose. That would be dope as well. As you do in Stealth right now, as you do pretty much in VGC, you also do it like that. You have the 6 Pokemon, but go to the battle with 4, I think it is. Those two are the most important things, I think, right now. Now, if we want to make it a little bit more complex, abilities could be cool, but I don't know. I think they need to simplify them to make them fit, and I don't know if I would like that. I don't know. It would be weird to. They need to implement it in a very clever way to make them fit properly within how the system works. More so because the PvP it's in real time. It's not like it's not turn-based like the regular game, so you don't have those times to decide or to think or to stop and that XYZ ability. So they really need to simplify abilities if they want that. And actually, this is funny, but they had like a survey some time ago asking what would you like to be added to Pokemon Go, and stuff like that was in the list. Abilities, special conditions. I think special conditions could fit way more easily in the formula, and would give some Pokemon the chance to brighten a sort. So
all the stun spore Pokemon finally have all the poison types and stuff. Finally have a place.
They'd be they'd have a place, and not only those, but there's a ton of different Pokemon that can put special conditions on the opponent and make it more interesting as well, and have a different way of thinking, the way you approach battle.
I'm a huge believer in the show 6 pick 3. I think that's something that the game definitely, if it was up to me, I would shift to that absolutely, because you could still have an open meta, but when you use the show 6 pick 3, it still at least limits or gives an expectation to the opponent, and it would make for a more competitive environment because there's an expectation set.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a game changer. Held items would be kind of cool. The special conditions, though, I don't know how they would do it. Like, obviously, because you're not counting out turns, you can't say, okay, I'm asleep for 2 turns, but maybe, it would have a chance to proc, like, when you use Ominous Wind, or you would have some kind of sleep attack. It would show sleep, and then maybe, even though the game is running on a turn-based system in the background, maybe you can't fire off a fast move for 2 turns because that simulates the sleep or something like that. I think that you hit the nail on the head, though. You have to be careful of how you can make it so complex that it just would create additional barriers to entry for newer players. And that's got to be of the utmost importance for Niantic, I'd imagine, is making all of their features and their game things, products accessible.
Yeah, or they could provide a formats, perhaps. Like, you can have like regular vanilla PvP with just fast moves, charge moves, and then regular stuff. And then the competitive side, you can do abilities and special conditions and held items or whatever. And maybe that would be the way to do it, because you could have those two things going together and getting more people into the vanilla side of it and getting used to everything, and then jump into the more competitive side. That might be another option for that.
Yeah. I think rental teams are probably the most important thing for accessibility. I think that's something that
and for engagement with content creators, you can create your team and rental team to battle. I don't know whatever grunt it is they put in front of you to practice or whatever. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think rental teams and also unranked GBL, I think, would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Matchmaking system with no competition, no ranking attached to it, just free play. That would be awesome, because then people would get more creative and would be more willing to experiment and try new things and do cool stuff, and not have to worry about hurting their rank because they just want to use a Pokemon they love,
or they just want to play. This sounds dumb, but you might just want to. You might be stuck at home or whatever, and you just want to battle it out and not make it be one of your sets of the day, or you maybe just ran out of your daily sets of Go Battle League battles and that's the only way, pretty much. You can battle with friends or whatever, but the matchmaking.
It's all about the matchmaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially like I would love to see them bring some kind of international feeling to it, where you get to see the flag, you get to choose your home.
That'd be cool.
Again, just creating a little bit more rivalry and competition. I would love that. Yeah. So very interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
And there's also several moves that need balance, and they have been doing it slowly but surely. Every season, new season, when a new season begins, they normally balance out some moves and they add some others, but they needed to do that in a bigger scope, I think, in a bigger way than they've done it so far, because there's a ton of Pokemon that are tethered to having a bad move set, or maybe because a bad fast move. For example, Runerigus just came out in a couple days ago, and it's super cool, and I love it. I'm a #1 fan of Ghost type Pokemon, but I hate that I can use it because it has a pretty non-usable fast move, sadly, and he could have had Shadow Claw, for example. But yeah,
right. Yeah, I think that Niantic is faced with an uphill battle when it comes to move balancing, because you're releasing the generations at it, slowly. It's not like you have all the moves released and all the Pokemon released, and then you can kind of balance it. It's like you almost have to look at it like anytime something new comes out, you have to expect a new balance to come along with it, because things are going to change. New Pokemon come out, new stats come out. Even if when you look at the TCG and you look at things like power creep, the strength and the hit points of these Pokemon has just gone, skyrocketed over the past couple of years. But when you look at a first edition Charizard, and it has less than 200 hit points, and now you have Pokemon now 350 plus hit points. It's like, there has to be some kind of balancing, but you can do that over time. Pokemon Go, it's definitely challenged because you have what you have, and you have to kind of wait for other stuff to roll out as it comes. Even with new moves,
and they're
new
also
Pokemon come out.
They're also a little bit trapped within some Pokemon that they give certain moves in the past that they can just take away out of nowhere. Not only because of creating a legacy moveset, or because, for example, I think it is Send Headbutt, which is an awful fast move, but if they were to improve it, it would help a ton of Pokemon like, I don't know, Relicanth and Cofagrigus and a ton of other Pokemon, but also it would help Pokemon like Regigigas and Chansey and a ton of Mega Tanks and different Pokemon that would be broken if that were to be to improve too much, whatever. Yeah, that's a tough job, I know, but please.
Yeah.
Please.
So as we kind of round things out here, I know 2020 has been like this crazy year. It's been absolutely nuts, but what are your plans for the rest of 2020? You have anything on the plate that you're working on, or any goals, anything you'd like it to accomplish before the end of the year?
Oh my God. Managed to keep the ball going in many senses in the content side, because I've been producing more content than ever before and different platforms, and support and being a part of a huge community and in Discord and stuff and stuff like that, because it really takes a ton of time and effort, and more for in my case, because I do daily Pokemon Go videos. Not only I stream on that, but I always have to be choosing a subject every single day to talk about, even if there's no news in the horizon, So it is tiring, but it's awesome at the same time. In terms of goals, I managed to hit 100K, which was a goal for this year for me in terms of YouTube.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, we managed to get the Discord server partnered with Discord as well. It's going quite well, I have to say. It's been a tough year, but it has been a really good one in other aspects, and that's pretty cool. And that's keep awesome. It going, That's the ultimate goal. Keep it going.
And I know collaboration is like always a huge deal, especially in the Pokemon community. Any creators that you'd like to work with in the future? Maybe I can make a little connection for you. Anyone you'd like to work with?
Oh, I have in the past made a podcast that was a weekly podcast in Spanish, as I mentioned before. And I got to work with a ton of content creators from Latin America, particularly. And that's something that has developed over time, that we are like way more united than we were in 2016, 2017, because of stuff like shows like this and collaborations that came around. Within the content creators in English, I do know Reversal. I've talked to him. I had on the podcast. I love the dude. He's awesome. And I think Zoe would be the other one that I do talk. That have talk to her like regularly.
They're all such good people. Zoe, I love Zoe so much. She's hilarious.
I've known her since I think a little bit after she made the video for Nick. Like she made
international decks.
Yeah. I've known her for quite a long time, and I don't know. I just she's awesome. Pokemon Master Holly as well. I don't know. With everyone again. I've talked with all of them in one way or another, and it's quite an awesome community to be a part of. And
that's awesome.
Any new opportunity there is to work with any of them again, it's awesome.
That's great. No, I would love to see that, and I'd love to definitely be able to feature more creators from Latin America on my channels and stuff, because I just think that the community at large throughout the Latin America, it's just amazing the things that are going on down there, and I think that the rest of the community can take a lot away from that, and and learn from it and use that to develop their own communities, because there's such cool stuff going on down there. But Johnny, thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, this was awesome. I'm so glad we got to hang out and catch up. I feel like, we were just kind of, sitting around hanging out, talking shop. It's a lot of fun when the conversation feels so natural and everything like that. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for coming on the show. And of course, links to everywhere that you can find Johnny are going to be in the description. Make sure you check out the channel, give him a like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. But why don't you tell our community where they can find you and where we would like to, where we can send our traffic to check you out.
Of course. Well, thank you for inviting me. And YouTube mainly is like my main drive in many senses, but I mean Discord, Twitter. In Twitter, I tweet way too much, but I'm constantly covering every single bit of news that come out there. And since you mentioned it, it would also help a ton if you guys checked Team Distortion in Twitter and Instagram. And recently in Twitch, we created a Twitch account recently that we're starting to auto-host our members of the team. And yeah, Team Distortion, nice, Twitter, nice. And Instagram as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. We definitely appreciate it. I learned a lot, and I'm so glad we finally got to connect. Yeah. Everyone else, this has been an episode of the Lured Up Podcast Creator Series. Make sure you check out 8BitCR. Check him out. Check out the content and stuff that's going on in Latin America. A lot of really great stuff going on there. Links are going to be in the description. Make sure you check out luredup.com for everything that we have going on with the show, and PokemonProfessor.com for everything going on with the network. But Johnny, once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate your time.
Thanks to you.
All right, keep training, trainers. We'll talk to you next week.